Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful coaster display. Now as you can see, the coasters are in a little plant pot and they look like a little flower arrangement, and you can pick one out and use it as a coaster. So let's get straight on to this tutorial. So for this project you will need a colour for the centre of your flowers, some green for the leaves, brown for the flower pot, and then any colour you would like for the petals. Now for this I am using 3 different colours, but you can do whichever colours you want, however many colours you want. I will be using a 1.75mm hook. You'll need some scissors and a darning needle. So to start with, grab your centre colour of the project. For this I'm going to be using this tan colour. So to start you want to make a magic ring. And chain 3. So this chain 3 counts as the first double crochet of the round. Like that. And now you want to place 13 more double crochets in this magic ring. So at the end you will have 14 including the chain 3. And 13. So let's just check, we have 14 including that chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Great, so you can pull that tight and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. That's round 1 completed. For round 2 you want to chain 3 again, which will count as your first double crochet of the round, and then double crochet straight into the same stitch. So the stitch we just slip stitched into, do 1 more double crochet into there. So that will count as 2 double crochets in the same stitch. There we go, so that counts as 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and now we're going to do an increase in all of the other stitches. So you should do 13 more 2 double crochets in every stitch around. So 2 double crochets in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, and so on. And the last 2. There we are, so we should have 14 clusters of 2 double crochets. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Now that we've got this, we can slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Pull that tight. So there we go, that's round 2 complete. So now onto round 3, you want to chain 3 again, which will count as your first double crochet of the round. Now place 2 double crochets straight into the next stitch. You don't have to place any crochet into this slip stitch that we did. So 2 double crochets into that next stitch. So 1 and 2. Now you want to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So, and then in the next stitch 2 double crochets. So for this round you'll be placing 1 single double crochet and then a double crochet increase in the next. So next is just 1 singular double crochet and now 2 in the next, and repeat this around until we get back to that chain 3. And now for the last 2 stitches, we'll just do the same thing. So 1 in the next stitch and finish on 2 double crochets in the last stitch. So 1 and 2. So now that we've done round 3, we can just slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. There we go. So that's round 3 complete, and now we'll move on to round 4. So round 4 is the last round of this main colour. So once again, chain 3, which counts as the first double crochet of the round. Now you want to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and there's 2. Now you want to chain 1. Now place a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3, and chain 1 again. So chain 1. Now another double crochet in the next 3 stitches again. So 1, 2, 1, 2 and 3, and chain 1 again. So you want to repeat this around, so 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, all around until we get to the end. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 1 and again. So I'll do this and meet you at the end. 1, so we're on the last 3 stitches, so once again 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and then finish on a chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from the start. There we go. So we've done the main colour base of our coaster. So what you can do now is fasten off this main colour. Go. And now we'll be moving on to the leaf. So to start, grab your green colour as we're moving on to the leaf portion. So what you would do is attach the green colour to any of the chain 1 spaces from the round below. So you can attach this however you would like, but this is how I like to do it. So you can attach it to any of the chain 1 spaces. And once it's attached, chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. After you've chained 3, you should chain another 3, so 1, 2, 3, and place a double crochet back into this same chain 1 space. So 1 singular double crochet. There we go. So this is what the starting chain should be looking like. Without chaining, you want to place a double crochet into the next chain 1 space. So there's 1. After the double crochet, you want to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now place another double crochet back into the chain 1 space. And there we go, so that's the second cluster done. So you want to repeat this into the next chain 1 space. So 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place another double crochet into that same space. And you want to repeat this around, so 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place 1 more double crochet back into that same space. And again, so 1 double crochet, chain 3, 2, 3, and 1 double crochet. So repeat this step around until we get back to the first one. You should have 14 clusters of 2 double crochets and a chain 3. So we've completed our last 2 double crochets, chain 3, and what we need to do now is just slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we did before. Now, so for our first stitch we chained 6 instead of 3. So what you need to do is count up the chains until the 3rd one and place a slip stitch into that one. So 1, 2 and 3, and place a slip stitch into that one. Slip stitch. So this is what our green layer should be looking like. So now you can fasten off the green and weave in the yarn. Here we go, this is what the green layer should be looking like. Now it's time to move on to the petals. So now we're going to be moving on to the petal portion of this project. Now for this you can do it in as many colours as you want, or you can just do it in one colour. Now I think doing it in one colour is a lot easier because with the multiple colours you have so many yarns to weave in, as you can see from the picture. But you can do it however you want. I'm going to show you how to do it either way. So for the way I'm going to show you how to do it in just one colour, but I'll let you know how to do it if you want to change the colours. So to start with, grab your petal colour and attach it to any of the chain 3 spaces. So as you can see, as you go around the petal, we've got little V's of green. So you want to connect your petal colour in between one of these little V's. So there'll be chain 3s, connect that petal colour in between there. So for this I'm going to be using a dark pink. There we go. So now that you've connected your petal colour, you want to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So once again, this classes as the first double crochet of the round, and now you want to do another 5 double crochets into this same space. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and one more, 5. So for this first petal you should have 5 normal double crochets and a chain 3. So that equals 6 double crochets. Now that we've done that, we want to pull up a dropped loop. So to do this, pull out the loop until it's a bit loose and remove the hook. Now with the hook you want to enter into the top of the chain 3 that we did. So this would be the first double crochet. So place your hook into the chain 3 like that. Fold the petals a little bit and insert the hook into the dropped loop and pull tight. So I'm going to show you how to do that again. So from where we finish, pull up a loop for the dropped loop. Take your hook out so your hook's free. Place it into the top of the chain 3 that we did. Put the hook back through the loop and pull tight. Now that we've got this, you need to pull the loop through that chain 3. So they're connected like that. Now you want to slip stitch into the next double crochet. So as you can see, we've got 1 double crochet here and we've got a little V next to it. You want to slip stitch into that double crochet and slip stitch. And now we're going to be making the petals. So to do this, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and slip stitch into the next double crochet. So as you can see, the next double crochet is here, the little V. Now this can be very tedious, so if you don't get it first try, just keep trying. Look out for the little V's and it'll be easier to see. And now chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into the next double crochet. So as we can see, the next double crochet is here. So let's slip stitch into there. And you want to repeat this for 6 petals. Now chain 3 again, 1, 2 and 3, and slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is here. And chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and the next double crochet, which is here. So that's 4 petals down and we've got 2 more to go. Chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and now for the next double crochet, as you can see, we've got an opening here where we slip stitch. So I put the next slip stitch in between there. So in between and slip stitch. And now the last petal, 1, 2, 3, and the next double crochet is right there. So that's where our last petal will go. So, and slip stitch. Now, if you wanted to do multiple colours, this is where you would leave it. So after that last slip stitch, you would cut off this yarn and repeat these steps for the new colour. However, I'm going to show you how to do it if you want to just carry on with this same colour. So to do that, you want to, after this last slip stitch, you want to chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. Now, so what I like to do is slip stitch into the 3rd chain along, the one that's closest to the previous petal. So for this one, it would be that one right there. So slip stitch into that chain. There we go. So as you can see, the petals are now connected, and now we can repeat the process again. So chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, which will class as the first double crochet of the round, and double crochet another 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now that we've done that, we're going to do a dropped loop, pull that yarn up so it's loose, remove the hook, place this hook into the top of that chain 3 like that, place back into this loop and pull tight. Now pull this loop through and we're connected, as you can see. And now slip stitch into the next double crochet in the petal. So slip stitch into that one. There we go. And now we can work on the petals. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3, I should have said that. Slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is this one. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is this one here. So remember, we should always have 6 petals on our little flower. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the next one, which is this one here. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and once again slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is here. So that's 4 down and 2 to go. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now the next slip stitch is going in between here where we connected the flower together. So slip stitch into there. And now the last chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the final double crochet, which is here. Now this can be quite hard, so really don't rush it, take as much time as you need. And there we go. So there we go, we've got 2 petals down. Now once again, if you were changing colour, you would fasten this yarn off now and attach your colour onto the next chain 3 space. But as we're carrying on with the same colour, we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, flip the yoke over and slip stitch into the next chain 3 space, but in that 3rd chain. So for this one, it would be this one here. I like to slip stitch into just the back loop so it's harder to see the connection. There we go. We've done 2 flowers now, we need to do 12 more. So I'm going to do the next one with you and then I'm going to leave you to it. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3 for that first double crochet and 5 more double crochets into that chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there we go. And now pull up a drop loop, remove the hook, insert the hook into the top of the chain 3. If we can grab it. There we go. Insert the hook back into this drop loop and pull tight. And now pull through the top of that chain 3. There we go. So we're connected. And now you want to slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is this one here. So slip stitch and chain 3 for the petals. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the next double crochet chain 3, slip stitch into the next double crochet, which is this one here. Now, the more petals you make, the easier it will be. The first couple petals you make might be harder than the rest, but once you get the hang of it, it is quite easy. So chain 3, next double crochet, which is here. You've just got to make sure you always have 6 petals per flower. It doesn't necessarily matter where you put the slip stitches, but it is easy if you put them into the double crochets. So next one. Two more, 1, 2, 3, into the connection that we made for this 5th petal. There we go. And now one more, so chain 3, 1, 2 and 3 into this last double crochet. There we go. Slip stitch, pull that tight, and there we go. So this is our 3rd petal that we've made. So change colour if you want, if you don't, carry on. So chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch into the 3rd chain along in the next chain 3 space. I like to do it in the back loop. You can do it however you would like. There we go. So that's 3 petals made. So I'm going to go off camera and repeat this until we have 14 flowers. So pause the video here and create these flowers and then come back. And that's our final petal done. So what I'm going to do now is chain 2, just so it matches the other ones. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 space, just so it matches. Slip stitch into there. And there we go. We are done, so we can fasten off this colour. Pull that tight, and we have got our first coaster. So I've weaved in all the yarn, and this is what our coaster should be looking like. So that's the back and that's the front. If you want to make the plant pot for these coasters, for that you need to make 4 more of these. So pause the video now and make another 3 following the exact same steps I've just showed you, and come back once you've done that. So I've completed the 4 coasters that I'm going to be using for this, all different colours. And now I'm going to show you how to make the plant pot to put these coasters in so it looks like you've got a little flower spread. So for this you will need your brown coloured yarn, and I will be switching to a 2.5mm hook. So you've got your brown coloured yarn and you want to start with a magic ring. So there we go. So you've got your magic ring and you want to place 8 single crochets into this magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. That tight. Make sure you've got 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So for the plant pot, we'll be finishing each round with a slip stitch chain 1. So go into that first single crochet we made, which is this one here, and do a slip stitch and chain 1. So that's the first round of our plant pot done. So moving on to round 2, we'll be placing an increase in each stitch. So that'll be 8 increases all the way around. So for this first stitch that we slip stitched into, we'll be placing 2 single crochets. So the chain 1 doesn't count as any stitch. So go into the first single crochet from below, 1 single crochet and another one. And now repeat this all the way around, so 2 single crochets in each stitch. So 15 and 16. So after the 8 increases, we should have 16 single crochets in this round. So now, once again, finish with a slip stitch. So into that first single crochet we made, pull through, slip stitch and chain 1. So that's round 2 done. So at the moment we're just making the base of the plant pot, so we'll just keep going until we've got a big enough surface. So now we're going to do a single crochet into the first stitch of the round, which is the one we slip stitched into, so 1 single crochet, and then do an increase in the next stitch, so 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And this round is going to be single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase all the way around. So the next stitch, do 1 singular single crochet, the next stitch an increase, next stitch 1 singular single crochet and an increase, etc, etc. So complete the single crochet increase until we get back to the start. So we're on the last 2 stitches, so it'll be a single crochet and an increase in that last stitch. And then once again, slip stitch into that first single crochet we made and chain 1. So when making a circle, we need to alter where the increases go so we don't end up with weird bumps and it turning into a hexagon. So to do this, we'll be starting this round with an increase and then moving on to just the normal single crochets. So place 2 single crochets into that first stitch that we just slip stitched into. So 2 single crochets immediately into that first stitch, 1 and 2. And now place a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. Now an increase, 1, 2, and a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So we do this just to make sure the work is a perfect circle and not have weird little bumps around it. So we just did 2 single crochets, so now do an increase into the next stitch and 2 single crochets. So repeat this around, so increase 2 single crochets, increase 2 single crochets, and I'll meet you back at the end. And we're on the final 3 stitches, so increase and 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Now remember, we did an increase at the start of this round, so the first stitch, it will be hard to see, but make sure you get that first stitch that we made to slip stitch into. And that's round 4 complete. So obviously remember to chain 1 at the start of the round. And now we're going to do 3 single crochets, increase, 3 single crochets, increase, etc, etc, all the way around. So we're going to start with placing 1 single crochet into that first stitch and 1 in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3. Yep. Now an increase. Now a single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Once again an increase and 3 single crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Increase again. Now repeat this step all the way around until we get back to the start. So 3 single crochets, increase, 3 single crochets, increase. So we're on our last 4 stitches, so 3 single crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and finish with an increase. There we go, and once again slip stitch into that first stitch that we made and chain 1. So that's round 5 complete. So like I said before, we're going to be alternating the increases so we get a perfect round circle. So for this round, we're going to be placing a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet into that first stitch, the one that we slip stitched into, and 1 in the next. And now place an increase in the next stitch. So 1, 2, and place another single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. So this counts as 4 single crochets increase, but we're doing it in a different order. So keep in mind, we're going to do 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, and repeat that all the way around until we get to the end. So in the next 2 stitches is a single crochet, so 1, 2, and then an increase, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So repeat this again, so 2 single crochets, 1, 2, an increase, 1, 2, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. So repeat this all the way around until we get back to the end. So 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, an increase, 1, 2 and 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. 'And that's our last stitch done. So once again, slip stitch into that first stitch that we made. Slip stitch and chain 1. So as you can see, we've got a perfect circle being made, and now we're just going to continue on until we've got the base done. For the next round, you want to place a single crochet into the next 7 stitches. So 1 into that direct first stitch, 1, do this 7 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now place an increase in the next stitch, so 1, 2, and repeat this around. So 7 single crochets, increase, 7 single crochets, increase, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now an increase, 1, 2, and again 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an increase, 1, 2. So repeat this around. Five, 6, 7, and then ending on an increase. So 1 and 2. Now once again, slip stitch into that first stitch that we made. So this one right here. Slip stitch and chain 1. Okay, for the next round, we're going to be doing an increase and then 8 single crochets. So we place an increase in that first stitch, which is where we slip stitched. So 2 single crochets into that first stitch. So 1 and 2. And now do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now place an increase, 1, 2, and another 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So repeat this around, doing increase 8 single crochets, increase 8 single crochets until we get to the end. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll be finishing on that 8th single crochet, so 8. And that's that round done. So just slip stitch into that first stitch that we made and chain 1. So this is the base of our plant pot made, and now we'll be working on the sides of the plant pot, so we'll be moving upwards. So to do this, in the next round we'll be working in the back posts. So what this means is, instead of going into the V shape of the single crochet, we'll be turning the work over and going through the back post. So let me just demonstrate this for you. So as you can see on the back, we've got these little holes in between each single crochet, and what we'll be doing is placing the hook in between these holes. So I'll do the first one with you. As you can see, we've got a hole here and a hole here. So what you want to do is place that hook into the first hole, which is there, and feed all the way through, and feed all the way through until it comes out the second hole. So let me show again. We've got one hole here, one hole here. So place your hook into that first hole, go under and through, and now place a single crochet into that space. So 1 single crochet. So by doing this, we will work up the sides of the plant pot and make it so when lying flat, these sides will come up. So let me do the second one with you. So looking at the back of our work, we'll look for the second hole. So the second hole is here and the other one is there. So through that first hole, under and out. Pull up a loop and complete a single crochet. So, and the next one, there's that first hole. Go through, underneath and back out the next hole. Create a single crochet. And for the next one, there's a hole there. Go under, through and create a single crochet. There's the next hole there. Go under and through and pull up a single crochet. So here's the next one here. Here's the next one here. Under and through, complete a single crochet. The next one here. Under and through, pull up a single crochet. So you want to continue to do this all the way around, and we should be left with 60 single crochets all the way up the side. So let's carry on. So here's the hole, the next hole, under, through and single crochet. Next hole, under, through, single crochet, under, through and a single crochet. Under, through and a single crochet, under, through and a single crochet. So just repeat this all the way around until we get to that first stitch again. And I'm on my last back post stitch. So once again, go into that last, underneath, through and complete that last stitch. So this is what she'll be looking like at the moment. So when you lay it down flat, these sides will start to appear like they're going upwards. Now it's not going to take shape yet until we start doing more round. So don't worry if it's looking flat at the moment, so does mine. So that's the first round of the side done. So once again, what we want to do is slip stitch into that first single crochet that we completed and chain 1. Okay, so now that we've got our back posts worked into, we can start moving up the sides. So for this, you just want to single crochet around. So place 1 single crochet in each stitch. So all the way around, just 1 single crochet. And once again, you should have 60 stitches at the end. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 and 60. So that's the first round of our sides done, and slip stitch back into that first single crochet that we made and chain 1. So you want to repeat this for another 2 rounds. So single crochet all the way around for another 2 rounds. So that means we should end up with 3 rounds of single crochets up the side. So we've just completed our first round, so now let's make another 2 rounds of just sole single crochets. So that's our next round done. So slip stitch back into that first stitch that we made and chain 1, and now just 1 more round of single crochets. And so that is the 3rd round complete. So once again we'll be slip stitching into the first stitch that we made, but the difference for this slip stitch is we'll be only slip stitching in the front loop of the first single crochet we made. So into that front loop of the first single crochet and slip stitch, and once again chain 1. So we slip stitched into the front loop of this single crochet is because we are going to be working in the front loops for this round. So very easy, we're going to be doing exactly the same as the previous rounds, but just in the front loops. So single crochet all the way around, but only in the front loops. So this first front loop that we just slip stitched into, 1 single crochet. The next one, front loop, that front loop there, single crochet. The next loop, single crochet. So continue all the way around until you've placed a single crochet in each front loop. So the next front loop, and the next front loop, and the next front loop. So repeat this around until we get back to the start. So the next front loop, and the next front loop. So continue all the way around until we get back to the start. So here's our last front loop stitch, and there we go. So you can slip stitch back into that first stitch we made in both loops. So slip stitch and chain 1. So now we'll be working on the last row of the plant pot. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like so far. So this is what the plant pot should be looking like so far. As you can see, the sides are up, we've got the base, and we've got the little indent where the plant pot comes out. So for the final row, very easy. All you want to do is single crochet all the way around in both loops for the final round of the plant pot. And the last stitch, 60. So to finish off our plant pot, you just want to slip stitch back into that first single crochet we made and fasten off. Fasten it off and just weave in these ends and I'll be back. And here we go. So this is the final plant pot all done. All done. Here's the side, flat base, and the centre where we're going to put in our coasters. So all that's left to do is add the coasters to the plant pot. So grab your 4 coasters all ready, done and made, and we just want to be adding them to the plant pot. So the way I like to do this is grab one of your coasters, fold it in half and fold it in half again and place it in the plant pot. Now, they are going to unfold as you're doing the rest, but it's fine. So another coaster, fold in half again, and add to the plant pot. And another one, fold in half again, add to the plant pot. And time for our last coaster, fold in half again, and add to the plant pot. And we're all done. So thank you for watching. I hope this was an easy tutorial to follow, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see any other coaster designs, please put them in the comments as well. If you like this video, please give it a little like and me a subscribe, as it helps me very much. And I really appreciate all your support. Thank you.